Welcome back, everyone. Appreciate y'all being here today. I have what I hope is a good one here for us. It's 23 little things that are different about life in France. Now, I'm hoping this one's unique because they're little things. They're not, the big major cultural differences. They're just little things according to the video. I'm very curious to see what they're going to say. It's about a 5.5 minute video, so it's not overly long. As always, as I ask, if you live in France, if you've been to France, if you've noticed this stuff, whatever it may be, let me know how truthful this video is. I'm not sure, where the people who made the video are from, so I don't know, how accurate it may be. But I'm curious to see, I'm curious to see how many little things that maybe I can somewhat relate to, or they're very similar here in the States. So, yeah, without further ado, let's just hop into it. 23 little things that are different about life in France.
Do you think you know all about life in France?
No,
Let's
that's why
test your knowledge and see how many of the things I mention are new to you. We're going to get right into my list of
pretty sure that
23
flag was
little things
wrong.
that are different about life in France.
Yeah, the flag is, what do you want? It's like up, I guess, turned around the other way, so I'm very nervous about this video already if I can't even get the flag right.
And for a full list of 77 things, be sure to check out the link below to my blog. 1. You can get great local wine for about 10 euros a bottle, or about $11 and under. Of course, there are more expensive wines out there, but there are cost-effective bottles as well that are excellent. You can find great options direct from the producer, at wine stores, and even the grocery store. 2. Soccer is big business and is the most popular sport to watch and play in France. 3. When it comes to medication...
Okay, well, two things about the bat. I know a lot of people are going to kill me. I'm not a big wine guy. So I would definitely try it when I'm over there. But the main thing I want to say is, isn't it football? Isn't that what it's called? Football?
Even over-the-counter products like pain relievers or diarrhea medication can be purchased only at a pharmacy. You will not find Advil, Imodium, cough medicine, etc. at a grocery store.
Wow.
4. On TV, you'll never see the French president talking about prayers or God during an address to the nation. Religion doesn't mix with politics and the public sphere. 5. On French coins, the denomination is clearly marked, so you know if the coin you're holding is a 1, 2, 5, 10, 20, or 50-cent piece, or 1 or 2 euros. 6. There's a wider variety of meat products in the regular grocery store than you might be used to seeing. Look away now if you're sensitive to seeing meat products. Things like cow tongue and rabbit, and some of the options might catch you off guard when you see the eyes staring back at you. 7. Dessert is a welcome part of dinner, and
I grew up on a farm. I've seen a lot of things.
not just for special occasions, but it's not always an elaborate pastry. Fruit and yogurt are common options, as are individual containers of puddings and other desserts. I did an entire video on my favorite French mealtime habits linked here. 8. Unopened containers of milk and eggs are not refrigerated in the grocery store. You'll find both at room temperature in France. And there's a reason for this, so check the description box below.
Yeah, don't put the reason for another 5 seconds in the video. make you go somewhere else. I've seen that about the grocery stores in Germany. It blew my mind that milk wasn't refrigerated. I can see eggs because there's a lot of, I mean, I grew up on a farm. I've said that 100 times in all these videos. We had chickens. I understood that they weren't, they didn't, lay their eggs in the fridge. So, but the milk one always shocked me. And I'm sorry, I don't remember exactly why. So if someone could tell me down below why, I'd appreciate it.
9. You'll find an electric kettle in most French homes, and it's not just for tea.
I have one.
Use it anytime you want
After
to heat
the
up
Germany
water.
video, I have one.
10. The French don't typically send Christmas cards, so don't be offended if you don't get one from a French friend or family member in December. It's much more common to send a New Year's card come January to wish friends and family a bonne année. 11. Quite often, public toilets in train stations and on the street in big cities cost money to use. About 50 cents is the norm, so have some change on you. Most restaurants will not let you pop in to just use the bathroom unless you're a paying customer. 12. At the hair salon, there's usually an upsell called a soin. It's a deep conditioning treatment that will add about 15 euros to the bill. So when you're being shampooed and the stylist asks if you want a soin, be prepared. 13. Well-behaved dogs are welcome in most stores, restaurants, and other places people go, with the exception being medical offices and grocery stores.
Okay, see, yeah, that's complete opposite from the States. I mean, in the States, I see dogs in the grocery stores all the time, but I've never seen them in a restaurant or anything like that. Unless it's a service dog. You know, I mean, that's a different circumstance, so.
14. Postal workers ride yellow bikes instead of driving a truck in smaller towns to deliver your mail. And sometimes they ride an electric bike like this one. 15.
Cool.
In many French homes, bathrooms are split into 2 rooms where the toilet is in a different room from the shower
I've
or
seen
bathtub.
that. I've seen that.
Sometimes there's no sink to wash your hands in the room with the toilet.
That's a little different.
16. It's perfectly normal to get a fresh baguette from the bakery every single day. Sometimes the line is out the door. 17. Veterinary care for your pets is much cheaper than the USA, and I found the care to be excellent.
Everything medical is much cheaper.
There's an
than
abundance of bakeries, cheese shops, butchers, and more, and high-quality food is something the French take seriously. 19. Tolls and gas are expensive on the autoroute, France's highway system. You can easily pay upwards of 50 euros in tolls alone for an all-day, one-way road trip.
Wow.
20. French
That is-
homes have window shutters called
That's more.
volets that are either manual or automatic. Some are quite decorative. They are opened each morning and closed each evening when it gets dark and are for privacy, security, and temperature control. 21. Healthcare is a right, not a privilege. Also, it is not linked to your job, so if you lose your job for whatever reason, you and your family will still have healthcare. 22. France has an amazing all-frozen food grocery store called Picard, and it has all kinds of high-quality food and is wonderful when you can't cook everything fresh from scratch. 23. It's easy to travel around France and other parts of Europe via the TGV, a high-speed train that's well-connected, efficient, and cost-effective. And for the rest of the 77 little things that are different in France, head over to my blog post linked below in the description box that has the full list. Tell me below in the comments if anything on my list surprised you, and lastly, if you enjoy this type...
Well, we may go over and check out the full 77 item list, because I was interested. I like that. Short, sweet, to the point. 23 different items. And I gotta be honest with you, I was trying to remember them all through my head as she was coming near the end. I would say that a good 21 of them, at least to me, are things I've never even heard of, or B, completely different than it is over here. But I thoroughly enjoyed that list. And tell me, like I asked before in the intro, please let me know, how much of it is legitimate, especially if you do live in France. But I cannot stress to you guys and gals enough how much I would love to just wake up one day, walk down the staircase in my apartment, walk out, and just go to a market and have freshly baked bread, any veggies, fruits, any sort of meats or anything I might need right there, and just grab it and go home and make a meal. I would absolutely love that. I hate going to the grocery store, just for little basic things like that. I'm craving that so much. So, I don't know. That's just a weird little segue for the video. But anyway, thank you all so much for being here, for watching. Leave a like on the video if you haven't already. Consider subscribing to the channel. It's free for you. Helps me out tremendously. Other than that, we'll see you guys on the next one. Bye, guys.